Starting a little bit earlier today. Hello, Shannon. Hi, welcome to the Solar Plexus episode of the Chakra series. Hello, Elizabeth. Good to see you guys. Thank you so much for joining. Yee! A couple new faces. I'm gonna wave to you guys. Very grateful for this one. I'm very excited about this solar plexus one. Happy Wednesday. Happy Chakra Day. So, it's definitely been, interesting to look forward to these once a week. And, kind of, structuring and, learning how to structure my life around these episodes and to familiarize myself with the potency of the power of time management and task management and getting myself into the familiarity of doing things, weekly, once a week. Oh, hello. And, which is just another great honor to be here and seen by you guys, because there are a few people who subscribe to this, who they made as much as I made. Hi, Val. Can't wait to see you in Miami. This is how I know what date it is. I love that. Because just as much as I show up, you guys are showing up, and there are people who are here every week, and there are people who message me and say, hey, I can't make it to this. It's there's so much care and consideration, and just makes me feel very grateful to have this opportunity. Hello, darling dove. All right. So I know Marina is also one of those subscribers. She isn't here. Subscribers. She isn't here yet, but they aren't here yet. So I will continue, and then hopefully they join in later on, or they take advantage and soak in the fact that I get to post these on my personal feed on this page. So this week we are moving on up to the third chakra in our energetic bodies. We covered the root chakra, the hub and government of stability and security. And then last week we talked about the sacral chakra, the government of emotion and sensation and feeling. And today, the navel chakra, the digestive chakra, the energy wheel. This is the energy wheel of energies. So the solar plexus chakra in Sanskrit is Manipura. Manipura means city of jewels or a lustrous gem. And lustrous means of luster, which means to have a gentle glow. So when we think of the solar plexus chakra, we tend to think about the sun, which is further supported by its ruling element fire and its ruling color yellow. So when you think of the solar plexus chakra, let's take our hands and initiate this experience, and just cup your hands gently over your navel. So right at your belly button, or just slightly above. And just notice if you can feel any warmth here, either emanating from your hand to your belly or from your belly into your palms. For me, honestly, I feel cold, which to me is significant to a underactive solar plexus chakra. So that's my reflection and my noticing. So just take a couple of centering breaths with the hands on the belly and just come to terms with what you're acknowledging and what you're observing. And take into consideration your digestive system recently, as the physical body, the physical aspect ruled by the solar plexus chakra is your digestive system. And when you have overactive or blocked energy in this energy home, what you experience in your digestive system is identical. So overactive chakra, overactive digestive system, meaning, and let's not sugarcoat it, right? Diuretic, indigestion, heartburn, acid reflux. These elements indicate excessive agni or heat in the digestive system. And then when you have a blocked solar plexus chakra, you have a blocked digestive system. So you're experiencing more constipation, more bloating, more gas. And that is in lack of heat in the digestive system. I've learned from my first class, the root chakra, some of you probably were there. It was just literally like, I'm at the beach and now I'm doing a live. So the past 2 ones I have done research, and like, even though the information all lives in here, it's so important to write things down. Hi, wave. It's so important to write things down, because then the thoughts have manifested into your reality, into the physical world through word. And thoughts can sometimes be erratic through images or visions or language or phrases, and it can get really tangled in there, and you'll have a thought that's like revolutionary or, epiphany-esque, and then you lose it, and then you're like, like that fucking sucks. Like, now, like, this thought is gone forever, but it never really is. It's always in there, and you can reconnect with it, but writing things down. So, and with that, I know that a lot of you guys take notes during these, which I really value and appreciate. So it's just this like continuous passing of like knowledge and information that is constantly and always accessible to us. So our inner sun, thinking of the color yellow, the element fire, our burning desires. It's got warmth, it's got combustion, it's got cataclysmic energy where you can affect and impact change through actions, through choice, through behavior. It represents our ability to create this change in our realities with our outward expression. So the ways that we do, the ways that we act, the ways that we are motivated and thus motivate other people. Hey, she made it. Hey girl, hey. I was just talking about you. So the first beginning, it was kind of intro, and then you can always circle back and watch these when I post them to my feed. Flip that hair. So we're talking about our inner sun and how our solar plexus chakra, which lives in the navel, is governed by the element of fire, which is Agni, or heat in Sanskrit. Agni is the god of fire. And it represents our ability to create change with our actions through that combustive, explosive, warm, energetic quality. So this is like the energy of energies. The mental body, we're going to jump into the ways that this chakra governs our mental, physical, and emotional bodies. And we will learn, again, with with all of these chakra series, we will learn what blocks them, what overacts them, how these things can sort of like be noticed, how these changes or the effects of this chakra can be noticeable, and just like the little quips and like facts about them, like the color, the element. So we got fire, we got yellow. The mantra for this chakra, like we did for root and sacral, so root, you know what, I think I'm gonna quiz. Maybe you guys think this will be fun. Who remembers what the mantra was for the root chakra? It's the 3-letter word. I'm gonna give you guys a second. It always makes me nervous. I'm like, are they gonna write something? But I'm gonna give you a chance. And you can reference your notes if you've been taking notes. If not, I'll give you the answer. No, that's okay. That's the one. Yes, girl. Yes, queen. Elizabeth was right. It was a lam. So it was a lam for the root. The sacral was vam, I believe. And then the solar is ram. If you can roll your tongue, this is like a really great time for you to practice it. And if not, then ram is perfectly fine. But that sound is you can feel that vibration in the chest. So let's go back to the beginning, placing the hands over the navel, and let's practice really tapping our awareness and our sensations into the self, like into feeling the physical body as we chant ram. So take a deep breath in through the nose. Exhale smoothly. Take another inhale for the chanting of the mantra. And just notice. Ram, 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 ram. And noticing the way that the vibrations of the audible sound, those sound waves affect, like I tend to feel like a little lightheaded. It's because of that constriction of the breath. You're not exhaling fully and letting the oxygen completely out of your body. You're controlling it and manipulating it into exiting your body through mantra, through affirmation and chant. And then the affirmation is I act or I do. Oh, hey, Sarah. What's up, sis? I'm going to wave to you too. I'm just waving at everybody. It feels good. So the affirmation of the solar plexus chakra, which is different from a mantra, it can be similar, kind of like Venn diagram-ish, but an affirmation is something that it's a thought that you affirm through audible language. So I act accordingly to my intention. I act accordingly. Thank you, love you, have a great time lifting. I hope you make mad cash, have fun at dinner with your cousin. Love you. I hope all your laundry's done. Okay. So that's action, right? So I act, I do, I affirm my action through my spoken word. Now let's talk about the way this chakra affects our mental bodies and our physical bodies. So with our mental bodies, hi Erica. So with our mental bodies, I love the turnout here today. Feels very good. Mental bodies have to do with thoughts, right? Our mental body have to do with our thinking energy and the ways that our thoughts create our reality. So the solar plexus relationship with, I love you so deep. So the relationship with the solar plexus chakra with the mental body is that it calls you to direct your insight to notice your relationship with yourself, capital S. Self as in how do you identify your characteristics that make you you. Maybe it's your laugh. Maybe it's the way you joke. Maybe it's the way you are in relationships. What can you take inventory of in terms of your individuality? Like what makes you unique? What makes you identify with your personal power? Like an example of that for me is I feel very personally powerful when others come to me for clarity, when others come to me and see me as a source of support. That's when I feel in my personal power. Another example of stepping into my personal power is when I claim boundaries, when I communicate and advocate for myself and for my sense of being. I use my voice through loving myself to activate my sense of being and doing. Mental blockages can come when you are misaligned with your personal power and with your personal intelligence. It can come in forms of powerlessness. It can come with lack of identity and being unsure of who you are. Like, have you ever exchanged words with somebody or exchanged time and energy with someone and you're like, that's not like an accurate representation of myself. Like, I'm not properly portraying myself and my sense of self in this situation. So those are some signs that you can be aware of and take observation of to notice, like if you're feeling off and you notice that, oh, you know what, I've been a little backed up lately. I haven't really like gone to the bathroom. My like waist system is like a little, suffocated, and I'm feeling. And on top of that, lately, I've been feeling very powerless. I haven't been able to advocate for myself. I've just kind of been, like, I feel like there is an expression about, like, just being knocked around. If you can link 1, 2, maybe 3 of these occurrences with a chakra, that is how you can bring awareness to that energetic exchange. Is it blocked? Is it overactive? Am I in balance? And it isn't just, like, don't just be on the lookout for bad, quote unquote bad. Don't try and shift your awareness away from being on the lookout for what is wrong or what is in disharmony. And also be aware of when you are in balance, because that's when you need to like take a moment for yourself and say, I am in alignment with this energy in my life. I am portraying myself through stability. Maybe if you're feeling very grounded, it's nice for you to notice like, oh, hey, I haven't felt anxious or depressed lately. I've been very stable-minded, and it's important to take note of that so that you can remember it. Like the more awareness you give to a thing, the more likely you are to come back to it in your memory in the future. So take time to celebrate your victories and your harmony and the ways that you bring balance to your life, like for sure. In your physical body, we talked about this. So solar plexus governs your digestive system. And when you take note of these physical qualities and compare them to the other qualities of your mental and emotional bodies, like I said, you can make connections and say, oh, hey, I think my solar plexus is blocked. Oh, hey, I think my solar plexus is overactive. And another way that you can be aware of that is by noticing the emotions that you are feeling in that experience. Because when you have your center, your call to center, which is what we refer to when we come back to gut, and we think of fire and our inner sun. Fire has a tendency of, it can be a beautiful thing to witness, and it can also be incredibly destructive. So when we have excessive heat in our emotional bodies, it manifests in eruptive behaviors, anger, violence, irritability. When left unchecked, that's the solar plexus becoming irate. I'm going to take a breath. Oh, it's a nice little back crack. So the solar plexus is not only in the center of our physical body, it is also in the center of our astral bodies, which is our spiritual bodies. And when you call yourself back to center, you're calling yourself back to your central jewel. You're calling your attention and your awareness back to polishing your center of doing and being in order to create a little more balance in your emotions, a little more balance in your digestive system. And you create these things through action. So this is like very much in par as we move up. You have the stability, the foundation, which encourages emotional stability, which encourages clear and concise action that is driven to living a life in love, which is driven into expressing your truth, which is driven into seeing things as they are with mental clarity, which is driven to remembering your divine connection to everything. So that's the importance of this path, this journey upwards and downwards through the energy system. So I guess in your notes, just kind of notice, let's take notice of the ways that our solar plexus chakras have been behaving lately. Check in with each of your bodies. So let's go through physical very quickly and without shame. You don't have to express it or share it in the group, but write down and take note of your digestive system lately. Have you been regularly discarding of the waste that we produce inside of our bodies through being? Take a moment to write it down. I've been really gassy lately, but I haven't been pooping, or I pooped twice today. Everybody shits. So let's just talk about it for a second, or express it among yourself. And then once you do that, I'll give you a minute. It's only 6:08. I did start a little early today. Thank you for sharing, Marina. I love that. So I went camping recently, and then not too long before that, I was at a festival. And I'm sure that we can all attest, the festival goers in here, that going to festivals can definitely disrupt our digestive systems. Because who wants to shit in a porta potty at 3 a.m. that hasn't been cleaned since the day before? It's not the most comfortable environment. However, there are people who just pop a squat in the woods and take care of business, and that's all the power to you. So with all of that happening and having gone camping, I've noticed that my digestive system hasn't been very responsive, or hasn't been as routine as it normally is. I'm a mooper, a morning pooper. When I wake up, when I'm in routine, and when I'm LOL, when I'm in routine, and when I'm not distracted or uncertain, or there aren't any blockages or overactivity in my energy, I tend to have regular bowel movements. And it's about once to twice a day in the morning, and then typically maybe mid-afternoon or at night. I've noticed my gut is more sensitive lately. Drinking and coffee are seriously affecting my regularity. Thank you so much for sharing that vulnerable truth. And yes, the things that you consume Oh my gosh, let's talk about diet. And not like, oh, eat 20 carbs a day and you'll lose. Not that kind of diet. I'm talking about what you consume with your body and with your senses. I'm excited to become more proficient and more educated in Ayurveda, because once I start talking about Ayurveda, bitch, I will not shut up. But, so, what you consume isn't only what you eat with your mouth. So your diet consists of the things that you consume regularly with all of your senses. If you are more familiar or more accustomed to having physical touch and consuming physical touch that's insincere, violent, aggressive, that is going to impact your physiological being. If you are accustomed to only watching violent movies, horror movies, guilty as charged. I love a fucking horror movie. Like, the gorier, the better. It's going to affect your mental, emotional, physical, spiritual bodies. So yes, when we talk about what we consume through our mouths and through like literal indigestion, or not indigestion, ingestion, substances that we consume definitely affect our physical bodies, which in turn affect our emotional and mental bodies. Because like imagine being full of shit. Like, that expression needs to be taken to heart. Like, when you're full of shit, you know, like, it's waste building up in your body that's continuously not being like deposited in order to make room for more digestion. You're going to be physically and emotionally backed up just as much. So try and see how you can moderate that. Like, see what changes you can make to your consumption in alcohol and caffeine. Considerably, these are like substances in the same way that they are as cigarettes, or even, you know, sugar intake. So yeah, diet, what you consume with all your senses, very, very important to the energetic quality of your life. When your solar plexus is blocked, I would love to take like there's no wrong answers. So from what we've learned, or from what we've discussed, what I have discussed and shared with you so far, let's do another quick little cover back, right? So fire, action. Let's talk about like when it's in balance. When your solar plexus chakra is balanced, you feel motivated, you feel inspired, you feel confident in your choices, you're aware of yourself, you know who you are, you know how you want to move through the world. So knowing how they're balanced, I would love to hear from you guys. Give me a couple examples of what you think a blocked solar plexus chakra is. Take your time. I'm just scratching a mosquito bite. I'll just check myself out in the meantime. This filter makes my hair look nice. I'm falling. Okay. I did all of that and like I'm still not comfortable in this seat. Daydreaming. I'm so grateful for like the opportunity to live here with my mom. Like, there's like 0 to minimal complaints. I am also just very eager and very excited to have my own space. Hi, Sierra. Okay, Marina. Yes, Elizabeth. Yes. Uninspired, tired, low energy. Nailed it 100%. Because this is our energy of energies. Lack of energy, lethargy, melancholy, like these things are definitely signs of a blocked chakra. Uncertainty in decision making, lack of confidence. Exactly. I'm so glad that you guys you're picking up what I'm putting down, which is really what I picked up from what our ancient ancestors that have been practicing this for thousands of years put down. So I love that. Yeah, and uncertainty in decision-making, actually, let's circle back to that. Uncertainty in decision-making and lack of confidence are correlated. They're not mutually exclusive, or they're not mutually exclusive, or they are mutually exclusive. No, they're not. So when you have lack of confidence, when you're unsure of who you are, that's going to reflect in your decision-making skills, because you don't know how to make a right choice, or in, yogic terminologies, a harmonious choice that is going to create more harmony for yourself in your life. Feeling lost or not a part of something? Yes. Feeling like you don't belong, like you don't have a niche, like you're floating through the abyss, like, who am I don't know. Which honestly, like, when I'm going to think about Alice in Wonderland right now, because we pulled the Chariot today, me and Sarah. That was a card that was pulled when we were having lunch. When you think of the tarot card, the Chariot, I think that's going to be my Tarot Tuesday, but it's a Thursday tomorrow video. When you think of the Chariot card in tarot, it is literally like a card of transition, right? You're in a transitional space. You're being taken from something to something else. And it's a journey of experience, and it's a journey of journeying. And it made me think of, and then when Alice in Wonderland, this tarot deck was created, they used the imagery of Alice in the vial that made her small, floating through a sea of her tears. How so often we are carried through life through the consequences of our actions, and how we so often put ourselves in the situations that we then have to heal from, which is not to disregard and discredit the things that happen to us that are outside of our control. So not being a part of something feels like you're not sure which direction you're going. So in that Alice in Wonderland story, if we're following that theme, when Alice gets to the Cheshire Cat and she's like, where do I go? I don't know where I'm going. Well, if you don't know where you're going, then any road will take you there. So this isn't necessarily a bad thing. Not feeling like you're floating through the abyss or like you have no sense of direction. Sometimes that can be when you're in the most exploratory, curious phase of your life. So constantly trying to have it figured out, and like, I know who I am, I know what I want. These things are great because then you can live in alignment with those qualities. However, if not left checked and continuously like referenced to, you can remove space for things to happen for you. Like sometimes you can be so adamant and so focused on a goal that you forget that you're still a human being, that things can happen to you and things happen for you and around you that can shape your reality just as much as you choose to be the creator of your reality as well. Insecurity and anxiety, absolutely. Yes, excessive anger without reasoning and overeating. Thank you so much for bringing that into that. Yes, overconsumption in general from any of our senses, where maybe you have like an imbalance or like a chaotic relationship with sex and physical touch. So you, in loss of sense of self and loss of confidence, you can try to compensate for these things through physical touch or through binge eating or through restrictive eating. Just as much as you can overconsume, you can underconsume. Bruh, the constant like effort and work that needs to go into to acquire balance and harmony in your life, bitch, like, can I clock out for like a shift? Like, give me like a day off. However, no days off in spiritual journeys. Not necessarily. I mean, whatever. Right? Like, days off aren't really days off because you still live with you. So that's perfect. Thank you guys so much for that feedback. I am going to say, though, that excessive anger without reasoning, thank you very much. Trigger warning for that. I appreciate it. Excessive anger without reasoning and overeating would actually probably be more examples of an overactive chakra. So when we think of overactive, we think about that like excess, that like overconsumption, overcompensating. And when we think of blockages, we think of like underutilization. So like restrictive eating, restrictive relationships, being restricted in what you consume generally, that would be for blockages. And then the over, like the anxiety, the overness, the overindulgence, that would be for overactive. The constant back and forth binge eating, yes, like honestly, like your relationship with food and your relationship with nutrients and with sustenance is definitely a reflection of your solar plexus chakra. So thank you so much for bringing that up and being vulnerable and sharing that insight. So this has been very, like, I'm very proud of you guys. Thank you so much for like listening and like being curious to what I have to say and being intrigued by the way that I deliver information. makes me feel like I'm doing something right. Okay. And then in turn, also like honor yourselves and give yourself a fucking round of applause, because by you being here, you're doing something that honors you. So, yay. Now, how to bring balance, right? So we've kind of like briefly talked about the overactive. We don't have to like, you know, kind of like we get it. So how do we bring balance? Like, how do we notice? Thank you, Victoria. I appreciate it. Wait, how's it? Oh, you guys are giving me hearts. I love that. It makes me happy. So we can bring balance. The first step to bringing balance, if I haven't already mentioned this before, is just drawing awareness. Like, being aware of something is huge. Like, how many people are moving through this world just completely like oblivious? It's like ignorance layered upon ignorance. Like, you're so ignorant you don't even know that you're ignorant. And this isn't to say ignorance in like a you're ignorant. You're ignorant. You're just ignorant. No. Like, it's just about like ignorance is not knowing, and you can't know what you don't know, right? So who's going to blame you for not knowing something that you don't know? However, you can take ownership of like your curiosity to procure the information that you don't know. And then if somebody brings something to your attention that you weren't aware of before, instead of being like, reject, like, I do not accept this information, just kind of be like, I didn't think of it like that before, or I've never thought about that. I've never considered that. Thank you. Yes, exactly. So yes, most of the time, how do you make someone listen? You whisper. It's one of my favorite little cliche sayings. When you feel like you're losing touch with yourself, sit the fuck down and breathe and be quiet and be still. Whatever that looks like to you. And that doesn't mean you can't fidget. That doesn't mean you can't scratch your nose or like adjust your seat. It just means like be with what the fuck is there without like, oh, you're not supposed to be sitting like that. Oh, you're scratching your nose. You shouldn't be doing that. Like release a little bit, let go, allow yourself to be a fucking human being, like you complicated being. Oh, God, I love it. I love it here. Okay. So the first step to bringing balance is being aware of the fact that there's imbalance, and that these two things can feel, you know, differently, and that these two things, the harmony and the disharmony, they do present themselves in certain ways and through certain, you know, actions, words, feelings, thoughts, etc. So my favorite way to balance chakras and to bring awareness to them is through journaling, right? I don't journal as often as I used to, or as often as I'd like right now, but I am who I am and you are who you are. So we can always implement new actions. And there's no, oh, it's too late for me to journal. I already started this one and it says, oh, this was supposed to be a to-do list journal. I can't write in that one. Like, fuck it. Like, surrender your desire to be perfect all the time. Just be real. Just be you as you show up as who you are. So a great way to bring awareness to energetic imbalances is to write things down. Like, oh, today I was feeling a little irritable. I shouted at my mom when, you know, she was just trying to be heard. I noticed that I overtook the situation, blah, 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 blah. Like, however you journal. And once you bring that awareness, see what's there. Like, most of the time you'll tell yourself what to do. Like, oh, I'm feeling a little like stuck and ungrounded. Hi, Savon. It's been a while. It's just like, oh, I've been feeling really stuck and ungrounded. I think I'm going to go outside and take a barefoot walk on the grass for a little bit. Just something simple like that. That's just like the action of grounding, or the action of, I'm going to make this even simpler. Okay. If you're cold, like you're like, oh fuck, I'm fucking freezing. Are you going to drink an iced tea Arnold Palmer with like extra lemon, or are you going to drink a hot tea or a hot cup of coffee? This theory, or this movement through energetic exchange and energetic healing, is that like balances like, no, like attracts like, opposites balance. So if I'm cold and I drink a cold drink, am I going to be warmer or colder? I'm probably going to be just as cold, if not colder, because then my hands are around a cup that is cold and my hands are cold. And if I'm cold and I drink a hot cup of coffee, it'll probably warm me up, and that's bringing balance. So if I'm feeling anxious and ungrounded, am I going to go for a jog where my heart's racing and I'm breathing rapidly? That's only going to promote more sensation of anxiety, which is like a common misconception, because a lot of people say if you're feeling anxious, go exercise. If it works for you, it works for you. However, see if what feels better. If you're feeling anxious and ungrounded, to take a slow walk through nature barefoot, where you get to take in the trees and noticing the colors of the world, or if you're doing something that's just as fast paced as anxiety is. So that's another really great way of bringing balance, is to do that like attracts, like opposites balance. My solar plexus is blocked. I'm feeling powerless. What can I do about it? I'm going to put myself in a situation where I can reclaim my power, whether by using my voice or by making a decision for myself. Another great way to balance your chakras and to balance the solar plexus chakra is to use crystals. Hold on, let's read. Okay, yes, because I used to work out 4 hours a day and came home just as angry. Now I meditate. Thank you for sharing that experience and how that affected you. Because yeah, for some people, going and exercising and like increasing your heart rate, like yes, biologically it does release like hormones in your brain that allow relaxation afterwards. But most of the time, maybe like physically it's doing something that that mentally it's not matching it, like what are you trying to heal, or what are you trying to bring balance to? Your physical body, your emotional body, or your mental body? I know it seems like a lot. It's because it is a fucking lot. So meditating is an excellent resource for healing any energetic block from any chakra of your body or any emotional standpoint, because what meditation is, it doesn't look like something. It doesn't sound like something. Meditation is simply bringing awareness to your thoughts. Awareness, not action, not manipulation. But like right now, I am aware of the trees outside. I'm not trying to bend the leaves in a different way. I'm not trying to blow the branches in a different direction. I am simply noticing that there are trees outside my window and the wind is affecting them. Therefore, they're dancing in the wind. So bringing awareness to your thoughts is a meditative state. Just being aware of the thoughts that are there without trying to change them or reshape them or restructure them. Bringing awareness to the breath without trying to deepen it, to analyze it, to dissect it. Just pure, innocent, observant awareness. Another great way is to use crystals in meditation. So crystals, if we dive in, maybe I'll do like a crystal workshop. I don't know if anybody would be like a fan of that. I actually wanted my first online workshop where it's like sign up on my website and you like, it's like a whole thing, was going to be a crystal grid workshop. Stay tuned for that. Eventually I will get around to it. But crystals are literal manifestations of earth. Like it is the earth producing minerals through pressure, through temperature, through time, through all of these elements that affect these minerals to create an energetic being that vibrates. It's got color, it's got sound, it's got density, it's got atoms vibrating inside of it at a certain frequency that can affect our physiological bodies. So the crystals for the Manipura sacral chakra are tiger's eye, citrine, pyrite, which is fool's gold, and labradorite because of that sheen. So anything that's kind of sheen, you can also even like moonstone, pearls, like anything that kind of has like when you shine it in the light, it has you know what sheen is, but I'm still going to show you my labradorite piece because I love it. So just give me like 1 second. Let's see. You see that? Yes, labradorite. It's such an amazing, amazing, amazing intuitive stone. Look at that. You see that? That's sheen. Where you see that blue coming out. Sometimes some labradorite, some samples of labradorite have gold in them, yellow in them. Tiger's eye also has that sheen, that golden stripe that seems to like almost move on the stone. So those crystals are going to help to remind you of your inner glow and your inner sheen. Citrine, yes. Citrine is another. Unakite is also really good. Unakite's more for... I'd say unakite is more of like a sacral root But I have like, yeah, I got tiger's eye here too. And I'm just going to do like a quick plug really quick since we're talking about bracelets. Expansive Experience for me was like a way for me to express myself through like all of my little tiny jack of all trade creative expressions that I have. So if you guys are interested, I do have my aromatherapy, which is like a great way to balance your chakras as well. Aromatherapy that's good for the solar plexus chakra are things that activate heat, and that also offer a cooling sensation. So like lemon, bright, refreshing, energetic. It's like citrus, it's like energy. Then you have ginger, which is like a warm, heating substance. Cinnamon is a great aromatherapy for your solar plexus chakra. Peppermint even. Peppermint is really great for the third eye and the throat, but if you're feeling like you're lacking, if you feel like your solar plexus chakra is overactive, then cooling things like mint and camphorous things like eucalyptus are going to help to bring that balance a little bit down to center where it's like up here. And I also make bracelets. I have my chakra series of bracelets that are made using the gemstones that I felt were best representative of that chakra. You can check them out on my website. They're all handmade by me. And then, so these are like my essential oils. They're color coded, so they have the frequency of color for each chakra. This is for the sacral. So you guys can check those out on my website. And then, can't wait to have like a warehouse one day. Wouldn't that be so cute if I had like a store? Not if, when. So here is an example of my throat chakra bracelets. They are the slip knot adjustable. You put it on with one hand. And there you go. And then it's got the lava stone so that you can take the throat chakra oil and roll it on your, oh yeah, vendor booth. That's coming, boo. I'm going to do, okay. So my plan, I know we're veering off a little bit, but hey, here we are. I would love, so in Boca, where I'm kind of near right now, they have every Sunday, the Meisner Park does like a farmer's market situation where you can have a booth. So I'm working on manifesting a booth at this little market. And once I have that, experience, I would love to vend at a festival. So I do have the bracelets that are chakra aligned. Each bracelet gets like a little prayer and a meditation and a kiss before it goes home to you. And then the bracelets have the lava beads that are porous and absorb essential oil. So it has like a more long lasting or aromatic effect that you can then take your throat chakra oil with your throat chakra bracelet and then rub it on. Put a lot of thought into this. It means a lot to me when people order them, even though like I'm a little backed up on orders. That's just, I'm going to admit the truth here, but I promise you that I'm doing my best and I'm going to get everything out to the people that need it. You live in West Palm. I'm in Coconut Creek. LOL. Okay, listen, we're going to chat after this. Don't worry about it. Okay, so back to bringing balance. Then we have the yoga poses. So anything that activates your core, aka your abdominal muscles, or activates your inner gut. I love you guys. Look at you. So twists are really great solar plexus activating yoga poses because twists are really great for digestive systems. So if you're feeling like you're a little blocked up or your digestive system's acting a little whack, do a twist. Like you can lay back on your back, knees bent, bring the knees up, and then let the knees drop to either side, and then you're creating a twisting sensation, and just try to keep that focus on twisting, not from the low back, but from the middle of your body. So you're lifting the ribs and twisting from the center. Another great yoga pose for the solar plexus chakra are planks. So planks where it's not like, it really is about form if you want to think about it from like the physical fitness or physical training. Drawing. So here's like a great cue in yoga, in pranayama, which is breath work, which you're going to touch base on next. If you hear the cue, draw the belly button up towards the spine. It's an activation of the Mula Bandha, which we talked about in the root chakra series, the Kegel, where you draw the pelvic floor up. And then when you do that, if you want to practice it now, inevitably it engages a little bit of like your lower abdomen. So if you take that engagement up through the belly button and bring the belly button up, it's not sucking in your stomach as much as it is activating those muscles and drawing the belly button up and back. That's the motion that you're looking for in plank and in twist pose, as well as boat pose. So that's when you're sitting and you bring your arms out straight and you're activating the rib cage, drawing the rib cage into the spine, the belly button up while keeping the chest lifted, and then the legs come up or the knees stay bent and you're kind of just like a little boat. Triangle pose, if you guys want to look it up. Maria, why aren't you teaching yoga online? Right? Can anyone agree with me? Why am I not doing like weekly live yoga sessions? Would you guys do it? I feel like that's like a big part of like, see, that's like a blockage in that energy of like, do the thing, is like I'm getting in my own way by assuming that no one's going to show up and it's not going to be worth my time, as if one person, as if I were to have a one-on-one clientele of the personal yoga class, like that isn't going to be impactful for both of us. Okay, adding to my to-do list, yoga classes online. Let's do yoga together. Oh my glob. Okay, you're so close to me. I'm going to have to like make a mental and physical note to reach out to you because like what the fuck. Okay. So we got twist, plank, boat pose, triangle pose, downward dog, create your own destiny. Camel pose, which is great because it's like, like that motion of like camel pose, if you guys want to look it up. It's driving, it's exposing, okay? When you're doing camel pose or any sort of like back bend, it's open heart, soft heart, strong back. So you're thrusting your hips forward, you're thrusting your navel, your gut out into the open. You're incredibly vulnerable, right? And that is an act of courage, an act of self-love to be able to expose yourself in such a way. And then cat-cow, to keep it simple. It's just like a really great, simple spine health yoga posture. It's just simply on tabletop. Inhale, lower the belly, leading with your solar plexus chakra, and then exhale, draw the solar plexus into the spine and curl that pelvis so that your spine is getting that nice stretch. I wrote camel pose twice. Love it. And now we're gonna, I guess, like test the waters of like my ability to teach yogic stuff, because let's do some prana fucking yama together. So pranayama is the use of breath and recognition of breath as life energy, and how with the breath we can control and be partnered with our bodies and when I say bodies, I don't mean just physically. I always will reference bodies as like mental, emotional, physical. So we're going to do 2 different pranayama exercises that are for the solar plexus chakra. So find a comfortable seat. And then just like take a couple centering breaths whenever you get there. Centering breaths means you're like, okay, I'm intentionally breathing. I'm going to deepen my inhales through my nose. I'm going to exhale through my mouth to just clarify any stuck breath, any stuck air and oxygen and energy in my lungs and in my heart and my solar plexus. And as you take those centering breaths, think into center. Think into breathing into your little fire. Who watches Avatar: The Last Airbender? Don't answer, because I'm going to tell you anyway. When Aang has to learn firebending from Zuko, they go to the original firebenders. The original firebenders were the dragons. So they go to the sun god or the sun warriors, and they have to present a little tiny flame to the fire masters, aka the dragons. And in order to do that, you have the wind blowing the fire. You have to control and focus your energy. And then when Aang gets to the top, he has no fire, right? Okay. So think of, as you breathe, think that your hands, put your hands on your belly. Let's start there, Maria. Slow down. You're getting a little excited, and it's okay. I love you, girl. Put your hands over your belly. And imagine that there's a little baby flame. And every time you inhale, you're breathing into the hands, you're filling the belly with air. And when you exhale through the nose, as if you're breathing onto your little flame, like you're starting a little campfire, right? And when you do the exhale, take a breath in, and now exhale as if you're trying to fog a mirror, right? Like that sensation. However, the next breath you take an inhale through the nose and create the same fogging a window effect, but keep the lips closed. The air has to leave through the nose, right? Because your mouth is closed. That is called breath of fire. Ujjayi breath. Let's do these 9 times. Inhale through the nose. Generating heat in the back of the throat. Generating heat in the belly. Still seeing if you can imagine that flame being brought to life inside of you. Nice audible breaths. I've lost count, but let's do 3 more. Last one. Relax the jaw. Amazing. We're actually going to do 3 because I forgot about the Ujjayi and I wanted to add that one in there. So the second, before we move on, take in what you're feeling now. Notice how your natural breath is now prior to starting that breathing exercise. Notice shimmering, maybe like a tingling or like a vibration, buzzy, fuzzy, wuzzy feeling. Notice your heart rate. How's your pulse? How is your heart? It's one of my favorite ways to check in with my friends. How's your heart? Or I say, how is your breath? And they're like, oh, I ate like a tuna sandwich. I mean, I guess it's pretty bad. It's like, no, is your breath steady, shaky, blah, blah. Okay, so let's move into the second pranayamic exercise, which is called the Hakriya quick burst of inhale breath. It's got a different English name, but it's called the Hakriya, and it's quick bursts of inhale. So it's like taking sips of air through the nose with a powerful exhale. Let's do that together. You got to practice run in there. I wish I could see you guys like a Zoom meeting. That would be better, but we'll get there. Quick bursts of inhales through the nose. Exhale, powerful. Let's do that 9 times. Ready? And then, let's break the inhales up. Let's do 9 sharp, quick inhales until you get to the top and you feel like you're going to burst, and then quick release. Ready? Inhale through the nose, quick 9 bursts. Yes, okay, let's do 1 more. No, 8 more. Noticing that the quick bursts of inhales are becoming easier. My mom's asking if I'm okay. I'm fine. I'm doing pranayama. 4 more. I'm fine, mama. I love you. 4 more. 3 more. Oh, it's so easy now to inhale. And let the breath settle. Oh, so grateful for full deep breaths. Yum. And now this next one. Again, chill out, girl. Before we move on to the next one, notice your breath now. How is your breath? I think I want to wear this. Oh, I'm going to save it. Trust me. By the way, hi, Jolie. That was juicy. I love that you liked it enough to say that it was juicy. Grizz would be proud, right? Hashtag Grizz. At Grizz. LOL. Actually, let me wave. And I'm going to like that one. I'm going to like that one too. And like inevitably, like I'm smiling. I don't know if I'm smiling just because like I think I'm goofy, like probably, but that's another example. Like, see, like I'm glowing and shining because I am proud and I love the way that I am. I love you so much, Jolie. Like, you are so incredible, and I just feel like we would share the most amazing time together. Like, just being in each other's radiance, just radiating radiance. It's just. But yeah, so like you can see like the impact of being in alignment with who you are. Like, this is who I am. I love being able to teach. Yeah, and I'm so glad it made you smile. Like, being in alignment with who you are and aligning your breath with yourself, like inevitably you're gonna glow, girl or guy. Ladies and gentlethems. And then the last one, you might want to grab a tissue. It's very nasally clearing, especially if you've been feeling any kind of congestion in your nose and in your sinuses. This one's called the skull shining breath. It's quick bursts of inhales and exhales. Be noted, disclaimer, if at any point during this breathing exercise you start to feel lightheaded or woozy, please stop. Like, don't do that to yourself. This is not a punishment. You know, like, this is supposed to be like liberating and fun and enjoyable. So we're going to do this for a total of 108 times, sacred number. We'll talk about that later. So 26 the first round, and then we'll do that 3 times for a total of 108 breaths. So this is what it looks like. You don't have to do it with me just yet. If you want to, go ahead. I don't know. I can't see you. It's going to go like this. You can do it with your mouth or with your nose. It's a little bit more challenging with your nose. You know what? We're going to do it with the nose. Let's push ourselves, right? Push those boundaries. So with your nose, you're going to notice like a flaring because your body wants more oxygen, and you're like just cock teasing your lungs like, oh, you're going to get that oxygen when I give it to you. And that's you harnessing the power of breath to create that experience. Okay, so 26 times through the nose. Count. So it's 1. That's 1. Okay, ready? On that last breath, take a deep inhale, deep exhale out. Ooh, I'm already feeling like buzzy. Let's do 2 more times. Ready? And breathe in. Exhale fully. And then skull shining breath. Back of the skull shimmering. Woo! Last one. Ready for 108. Deep breath in. Exhale out the mouth and begin skull shining breath. Oh, that one gave me a chill, like down my ear, going down my like arm. Oh. Catch your breath, notice your breath. Notice what's going on in your body. Did that feel great? Did that totally suck ass? There are no wrong answers here or wrong experiences. Take note of these things, and then also be aware that if you don't capture everything and you didn't write everything down that I said that was like, oh, what did she say? Oh my God, that was such like a relevant thing to like me. I will be posting about these things, and I am and will be curating like some sort of blog on my website or something that is going to be like tangible and accessible for you. I feel like this live is going to cut me off, so before it does, because I have been here for almost an hour. Wow, time flies when you're having fun. Time flies when you're being your fucking self. Okay, so let's go. And oh, I love you. You're so welcome. I absolutely love this. I thrive. I just wish I could do this full time. Like, I wish I could be like subsist off of this passion, which I guess is like the goal, right? Like, that's what I'm working towards. So go easy on yourself, but also like, anyway, let's find a comfortable seat, whatever that looks like to you. And I will close us off with my personally curated, like divinely in love solar plexus prayer, meditation, intention. So find a comfortable seat, bring your hands over to your belly, just like you can cross the fingers, layer them on top, whatever is comfortable for you. And you can soften the eyes, soften the breath. Maybe you still have a smile on your face. Maybe you're just so excited to be a part of this like shining experience. And let these words pour over you in golden light. Hi, Nikki. Perfect time. We're doing a solar plexus prayer. If you want to stay for a little bit, just find a comfortable seat, take a deep centering breath, and remember that the light that shines in you guides you into courage, strength, and power. You are deeply motivated by your confidence and the beauties of life. You view the world as an infinite portal of opportunity designed especially for you. You are at peace with who you are and all the ways you have been. You trust that you have done your best with what you've had and who you were throughout your life. You treat yourself with respect by leaning into and aligning with your intuitive nature. Your authenticity empowers me. Close your eyes and hear the same prayer again in the first person. Imagine yourself saying these words. The light that shines in me guides me into courage and strength and power. I am deeply motivated by my confidence and the beauties of life. I view the world as an infinite portal of opportunities designed especially for me. I am at peace with who I am and all the ways I've been. I trust that I have done my best with what I've had and who I was throughout my life. I treat myself with respect by leaning into and aligning with my intuitive nature. My authenticity empowers me. Bring your hands to heart center. Give yourself just like a moment of gratitude for showing up in this practice, for trusting me into guiding you through this experience, and in turn, me allowing myself to be supported and aligned with your intuitive natures. And I'm just very grateful for this opportunity. I'm so looking forward to talking and meeting with you guys next week for the heart chakra. Oh my God, it's going to be such a fun one. I feel like all of these are really fun ones. Like, you can't go wrong with chakras. I keep circling back to them because it's just the most beautifully organized system of passion and excitement and joy. It has been an honor to be here with you guys. If you have any questions, please don't hesitate to DM me or to, I don't know, write me an email. Let's be pen pals. I don't care. Let's just like stay in touch. I am here for you at any capacity that I'm able to be. And I'm very much looking forward to connecting with more of you in the future. As always, and as lovingly, this has been and will be a donation-based series. So if you are new here, if this is your first time or you haven't been able to, and find yourself in a position to be able to support me in any financial matter, it is encouraged and empowered to send over any amount of donation that you feel, aligns with what you're able to do and what you feel honors me in the efforts and the work that I'm doing doing here and my visions to be more self-sustained with my energetic qualities and my energetic healing practices. And if you are interested in subscribing or signing up for the rest of the series, I will be doing these every Wednesday at 5:55 p.m. Eastern Time. And with a donation of $111, it allows you to have access to all of this information, as well as a mini 1 milliliter vial set of my essential oils, which I talked about before. They're in this little Ziploc bag. So yeah, thank you guys so much. I'm so grateful for all of your time and energy and patience and practice, and I will see you next week. Love you. Bye. Hello? Okay, bye.